Well, I don't know what day it is. January 26th or 7th or something. A little chilly, it's foggy. I've been going at it online to support the fighting Canadians out east, across in Canada and in the US. So I'm gonna take a time out and see if I might be able to catch a fish this morning. And then I'm gonna make some videos to share the voices of the thousands of honest people around the world. But back to fishing. I haven't took a cast yet, and usually if you do catch one, it's gonna be your first of 2 or 3 casts in the morning. So let's see what happens. I'll let this sucker keep running and see if I can't record the action. I'm using a single bead, plastic bead this morning. Let's see if they want that. Or even if there is one in there. Sucks. Guess there's a new tree in the bottom. Damn. Still can't quite make it across the river. Tried. Kinda sucked. I'm gonna go to another place in a couple days. Little more remote. Actually, a lot more remote. Take a break from my battles online. I'm really active on social media and challenging everybody to support the freedom fighters of Canada and the US every single day and try to make a post supporting the people every single day instead of the usual meaningless crap that everybody seems to flood social media with, right? Anyway, now this other portion of my day is getting all these voices heard, which I enjoy the shit out of every second I do it. Yeah. Bite my lip on ranting for a bit and concentrate on the people right here that need to be heard. My 2 savvy experiences. Hello Steve, feel free to share this and my name if you want. Thank you for empowering us all by giving us a voice through you. Quick intro about me. I've been legally blind for the past 25 years, but retain about 4% of my central vision in one eye. I'm what most would consider an empath due to my brain adapting to vision loss. And yes, living in the Pacific Northwest, I've been aware of the Sabbath. Now enough about me and on to my experiences. Number 1 was the winter of 2014-15 in the outskirts / mountain around Estacada, Oregon. My best friend and I were out hiking along the snow-buried road. After about a mile into the hike, we stumbled across a perfect circle of thawed ground, roughly 6 feet round. Like it was dug out. As if this wasn't odd enough, at the same time it went silent. No noise, no creaking or crunching as we walked through the snow. But 10 yards further down this trail / road, the sound came back on. And it was at this time I realized that we were now alone. I think he meant we're not alone. There was something 10 to 15 yards further up the hillside in the timber that was following us, step by step, but only when we walked. Never saw or smelled anything. Just had a very powerful feeling of being watched. Experience 2 took place on June 26, 2021 at Snoqualmie Pass in Washington State. In this area, there is a public dig area for digging up quartz and amethyst crystals. This area is called a slump zone and is literally on the side of a mountain. It has roughly a 55 to 65% grade, very steep. This comes into play shortly. The dirt was super fluffy and soft. When my 2 friends and myself found our area, we wanted to dig / look for crystals. We began to set up shop. It was at this point everything went sideways. When started to navigate down the mountainside, I lost traction and fell. Unfortunately, I only fell 30 feet down the side of the mountain. Only? I was stopped by a downed tree with many broken off branches that looked like butcher knives sticking out. Unfortunately, I was banged up really bad. I broke my left ankle, had to leave my shoe on as it was the only thing that prevented it from swelling any bigger. I also cracked my right shin. 6-inch goose egg. Despite my pain and having no clue to the true extent of my injuries, I elected to stay. I didn't want my friends to be mad or make it a worthless trip. My fall only occurred within the first 10 minutes of us getting there. Now comes the interesting part. About an hour and a half after my fall, I'm sitting on a level portion of the mountainside my friends made. I was staring at this tree. After about 15 minutes of staring, I noticed that there was something just around the backside of the tree. It was discreetly trying to get my attention. Mind you, I'm 44 years old at this time and very open-minded. Once I saw the entity, I felt as well as heard in my head a female voice ask me if I was okay. Without a second thought, I responded in my mind that I think I just twisted my ankle. Should be okay. She responded with a smile. Now the part that confuses me is what follows. With that smile, I had the overwhelming feeling of calm and serenity. At this point, I said, "Thank you for checking on me and I appreciate your energy." She looked over at me and nodded. Then she walked into the tree and vanished. Holy shit. My friends were within 30-45 feet of this tree and didn't see or hear anything. It was at this time I realized that the entire conversation was in my head, mind speak. The other part was her height, which I estimated to be 8 to 9 feet tall. The part I remember vividly was how angular her face was. That's what it reads. Maybe you meant angelic? Anglo? Probably meant Anglo. High cheekbones, almost like that of an elf. And her eyes, so much depth and intelligence. I don't remember what her body looked like, just her face and the overwhelmed feeling of compassion. I never felt like I was in danger or in fear at any point within a conversation. This experience lasted roughly 30 or so minutes. That's like a lifetime. 30 minutes in the wild with anything is like a lifetime. I know those that I have told either scoff at or openly mock me due to my vision. I don't care. I know what I saw. I know what I felt and heard that day. And truth be told, I can't wait to go back. My friends will still take me. God bless and thanks for all you do, Steve. Sincerely, Jeremy, a.k.a. the Blind Guy. That's one hell of a story. I guess a lot of people are probably going to be asking if she had a lot of hair or if she was 4.5 feet across the shoulders. That's one hell of an experience, man. First time we've heard something of that flavor, I think. Crazy. You go back there, make sure you share with us what goes down, all right? Here comes another one. Time Slows Down is the title of this one. I apparently incorrectly thought this was called time dilation. Wikipedia says time dilation is a term used in relativity physics on time slowing down. Obviously, physical time does not slow down. It is our experience that has changed. The standard explanation would be that the internal processes run faster in situations of fight or flight, inasmuch as the brain works more quickly in a situation of danger. The world outside seems to be moving more slowly. Accordingly, and in relation to the speeding neural and mental processes within the observer, external events relatively slow down. Maybe time dilation is the correct term. Back in the 1990s, I was discussing with a friend an event with time dilation I had while I was flying. This friend had done some years as a navigator in rally racing and ice racing. Ice racing, he got tired of people hugging his bumper instead of having their own skill. He put a 555 timer on his brake pedal, so when he hit the brakes, there was a delay before the brake lights lit up. Too late for those behind them. They have to lock up to avoid hitting them, and they'd slide off the course. When his driver retired, his wife said he had to retire from rally too. He said that race car drivers, not rally drivers, run the whole race under this effect. Otherwise, they would not be able to process the course at the speed is coming at them, let alone be able to respond quickly enough. He also knew this as time dilation. In background, as I write this, you're reading the guy talking about self-proclaimed Sasquatch ambassadors, LOL. Regards, Michael. Michael, appreciate that, man. I appreciate that knowledge share big time. And keep it coming, all right? don't stop sharing. Here comes another one, titled Armed Security. You can use my name. I'm retired now and couldn't care less what anybody says or thinks. My name is Jack Smith, and I worked armed security for a power company here in South Carolina. Working different shifts covering 24 hours / 365 days a year. I remember this night very well. It was November of 2019, about 9 p.m. I was patrolling an outdoor storage facility. It was the size of a little more than 5 football fields. The east side was bordered by a swamp and then a small river. The north side was a manufacturing plant. The south side by a farm and a few trailers, and to the west is a small town about 2 miles through the woods. I was making a patrol on a 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift, drive a security vehicle around 9 p.m. that night. When I got to the northeast side of the swamp, I saw someone coming towards me, walking between my vehicle and a storage building no more than 10 feet away. I stopped the vehicle, proceeded to do my job, reaching for my radio and flashlight, still seeing the person out of my side window. I opened the door of my vehicle and then was hit by a very strong odor. The odor was very heavy in the air. I see this person looking back at me and started to call into my radio a description. Trying to get this right, I ran it through my head so to get it right. 67 feet, reddish brown hair, 400 pounds. That's when I kind of lost it. I never reached for my weapon. This being just kind of vanished behind some large pipe, and I looked like a lighthouse trying to get back to my vehicle, jumping in, closing the door, and driving off. The odor was still inside the vehicle, very strong. So strong, I even stopped and turned on the bed light to see if it was in the back of the vehicle. I was heading back to security station. I had to stop at a gate to secure it. Very much scared, I managed to lock the gate. I can still remember very well how he looked. My job at security, we were trained on identification, so here's what I remember. At least 6.5 to 7 feet tall, 400 pounds easily, reddish brown hair, very broad shoulders and narrow hips, short legs and very long arms. As it was looking back at me, I could see the face from the side, large eyes, very little hair on the face, large nose, and leathery skin. I've been doing this job for 5 years at the time. Not bragging, but I was very good, promoted twice. I have assistants in arrest on the same site. I did my job. I had to go back the same shift. Scared, yes, but checked out the whole area, no problem. I informed my relief that I thought I saw someone in the area. If any problems, call me and I'd respond. We've had a situation meeting the next day and in private, and told my inspector everything. Well, that was a mistake. Made the whole thing a joke for the crew. So I just sucked it up, and that's my story. So believe what you want. Sir, I know what I saw. This thing could have torn me to pieces, and I never reached for my weapon, and I never felt threatened. Scared, yes. Never stopped me from doing my job, but I was very much more alert. Thank you for your channel. I'm sure other security people out there have seen plenty. Don't be afraid to speak up. Jack Smith, South Carolina. Jack, thank you so much for sharing that with the people and encouraging people. I guarantee you just knee-jerked a handful of people sitting on the fence to come forward and share. I guarantee it. And there's people like you that make this channel, make this crew of people what they are. Strong and honest. Here's another one. Titled, Bigfoot Encounter. Hi, Stephen. It's Terry Waddell. I had my only encounter with this creature when I was 15 or 16 years old. The first part of my experience happened while running my trap line about 3 miles from my home. I lived in Salt Fork Lake area in Ohio. Like I said, I was checking my traps and I came upon a small section of woods that had every tree in about a 30-foot area snapped off about 8 feet off the ground. At the time, I wasn't really into Bigfoot thing, but what I found in the woods that day scared me a little because I didn't have any idea what snapped the trees, but I knew it was big. The second experience I had was one evening after returning from wrestling practice. My friend's dad gave me a ride home. My dad and my friend's dad were standing around talking in our driveway when all of a sudden there was a blood-curdling scream from across the road over by the creek. It sounded like a woman in distress. It scared the hell out of us. I asked my dad what it was. He said that he had no idea, but I've been listening to your channel now for a year or so. I know what it was. I saw and heard. It was a Bigfoot. Thanks for all you do, Steve. Terry Woodell, USMC vet and patriot. Terry, you're the man. Thank you so much for making that share and your service. There's so many people. So many. Let me find some more here. I gotta sift through a handful that are red to get to the ones I've missed. Oh, sorry guys, just trying to scoot along here. What's this one? Alright, oh, that's red. Red, red, red. My story isn't new, but I promise appropriate grammar. Alright, we're down with it no matter what. Dear sir, as my introduction indicated, my story isn't new. Additionally, it will be brief. To this day, I still cannot pinpoint what happened to me. However, I do believe I am in the right place. Approximately 30 years ago, I went hunting. I was driving to my gate where I'd walk in. This occurred around Highway 200 just outside Missoula, Montana. I wasn't raised around here, and I grew up in an urban area. What I've learned about hunting in the backwoods was accomplished in my adult years. I still will never know a fraction of what you and men like you know regarding hunting. As I turned off and went into an area called Gold Creek, I proceeded without incident for some time. There are two options one could take. On that proceeds lower and one that climbs into the mountains. I chose left and went into the mountains. I really wanted to take an elk. I still haven't tagged one, and this experience, I'm sorry to say, has been a strong indicator as to why. I went about a half hour climbing up the mountain, and then it happened. I felt this horrendous, violating feeling. A voice almost appeared in my head. It was as if I froze in fear and was told, "Get the F off my mountain." It was unlike any feeling I've ever felt. Immediately thought to myself, "Yes, sir," and turned around when the soonest opportunity arose. Keep in mind the turning radius on this Mountain Forest Service road was very big, yet I managed to somehow make it work in my old school Chevy pickup truck. Since this experience, I'm very apprehensive of going hunting again. Yes, I'm sorry to say the fear has taken its toll. In my defense, I do believe that what was speaking to me did indeed had malevolent intentions, and I acted in my best interests. Thank you for this venue and the safe place you have created to share one's experiences. Over 13 years of reflection, I'm convinced I was hit with a psychic attack and or infrasound. It was something that wanted me gone, and I'm pretty convinced what it was. I've come to find out Sasquatch sightings are nothing new here. If I ever feel anything like that again, it'll be too soon. Thank you for what you do. All the best, David. David, thanks for your share, man. And you probably know what I'm going to say. You know, hold on, I got an itchy nose. If whatever it was that imposed those feelings and words in your head on you, if it wanted your ass, it would have took it, and it wouldn't have said anything to you, all right? So just keep that in mind. Whatever that was did want to hurt you, all right? I would strongly suggest to keep going hunting, and just take baby steps. I told everybody, just take baby steps. Go, if you feel the pressure, turn around and leave, but stay in tune with your sixth sense and your gut instincts, man. Don't give up hunting. If I had to give up all this outdoor shit because of the scary things I've experienced when it comes to this unknown shit, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now. But you just gotta push your way through it and keep going. You're gonna be dead anyway. Every single one of us is dying. You're going to die. Every single person watching this video, listening to this podcast audio, is gonna be dead. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? But it's reality. We're all gonna be dead. So, live your life like you're going to be dead. Okay? That's pretty good incentive to keep doing what you love doing. Live your life like you're gonna be dead. With a 5 or 6 inch scar on the right side. Oh shit, I read this. Son of a bitch. Water just snuck up on me. Look at it, it's right there. Oh, no. Can't see him anymore now. Well, that's kind of cool. A little otter just splashed behind me, and I think I caught him on the camera swimming underwater right into these bushes. But anyway, I think I just did about 15 minutes of reading an email that I finally figured out I read before. That sucks. So I gotta whip home now. Hopefully there's enough content here to keep you guys content for a little bit. And I'll be posting up more of the content that I posted while I was in jail. I'll post this up as soon as I can too, and I'll be back again. We're gonna hear more voices.